Hello friends, wherever and whenever you may be watching this video with me. I'm glad that you're taking this time to hang out for a little bit. And today I have a mystery for us to solve. I found this picture of the 5 human senses. Do you know what they are? Can you help me figure out what they stand for? Let's look at these pictures. What do you think? Well, that's right. It's sight. And what else? Sound or hearing, yeah. Smell, good. There's taste, and there's touch. Good job. Okay, so I have another question. What do you think happens when you don't have one of these senses? Maybe you're born without it, or you lose the sense. Maybe you know someone who is blind, who doesn't have the sense of sight. Or perhaps someone who is deaf, who doesn't have the sense of hearing. And how do they communicate? Have you had that opportunity? Do you know? Do you understand what it means to use your hands to communicate because you have sight and not hearing? Yes, that's sign language. And this is the sign language for understand. It's like, yes, I understand. Do you understand? Let's try that together. Can you do that sign? It's just like a light bulb coming on, isn't it? Ah, I get it. I understand. But what if you're lacking more than one sense? What if you cannot see or hear? Well, there is the opportunity to use what's called tactile sign language. And this is done by using the sign language alphabet and pressing it into a hand. So you could spell out the letters A, B, C. It's a very interesting way of communicating, isn't it? And there are lots of ways to overcome difficulties in this world. And these are just a few. Today I want to share with you about a girl who lost her senses of sight and sound when she was less than 2 years old and had to learn to communicate through tactile sign language. Her name was Helen Keller, and she was born in 1880 in Tuscumbia, Alabama. When Helen was 7 years old, she had a teacher named Anne Sullivan who taught Helen how to spell and to communicate using sign language. And even though Helen never regained her sight or hearing, she went on to write and publish books telling people all about her incredible life story, to travel the world and visit over 40 countries, and to even complete a college degree from Radcliffe University, all while raising money to help other blind people. She dedicated her life to advocacy for people with disabilities and to promoting equality and world peace. I'm sharing Helen Keller's story with you today because she's an inspiring example of someone who had courage to learn new things and to go above and beyond the challenges that she faced in her life. Sometimes when things are hard, we feel like giving up. When we feel like someone doesn't understand us, or when we're confused and we don't understand something, we can feel very frustrated. And that's a feeling that Helen Keller would understand very well. It is important to remember in those moments when we feel frustrated, when we feel like we can't communicate what it is that we want to say, that God is still with us. And even though we may not be able to see God or hear God or taste or smell or feel God, we can still know that God is present with us when we are peaceful, when we feel peace. Or perhaps when we know that we are loved, we can feel God's presence with us. So no matter what, we cannot lose God's presence. There is never a time or a place when God isn't loving us and with us. And so I hope that you experience that this week, that you're never alone because God is with you, loving you madly. I hope to see you again next week. Until then, take care.